welcome back to yet another exciting Saturday here on I'm Kinda Sketchy on YouTube.com. Please help out my channel and help us grow by subscribing and liking and sharing my content with all your closest and most beautiful friends. That's right, that really helps me out, and also hit that notification button, one that's shaped like a bell, so you can get all the updates whenever I post more content here. I do it twice a week, Wednesdays and Saturdays, only on I'm Kinda Sketchy and only on YouTube.com. Today we are doing yet another viewer request. This one is from a fellow YouTuber at the YouTube channel FTH Official Gaming. They asked me to draw something from the TOXIC Avengers that ran a trial run in 1990 and then the officially aired in 1991 and ran longer in Canada than it did the United States. I vaguely remember this cartoon, and it kind of melted away with all the other Captain Planet and Ninja Turtle cartoons of the day, and there were a lot of knockoffs and copycats. And that's probably why TOXIE and his fellow environmental crime fighters got lost in the fray like it did. And until this last week, I had no idea that there were at least 6 gory R-rated movies by the name TOXIC Avenger with TOXIE, geared towards a more mature audience, not for kids. Of course, RoboCop, Conan, Rambo all also had cartoon debuts made from R-rated movies, so it's not really unorthodox, especially in the late 80s and the early 90s, it turns out. So anyway, TOXIE and the TOXIC Avengers, or the TOXIC Crusaders, as they were also called, had a limited run on the cartoon circuit. Marvel Comics picked them up and made them their own for a while. So who knows, maybe TOXIE may just make his way to the MCU one day. Like Howard the Duck, or many other obscure comic characters that would probably shock most people. I shouldn't get too much into the storyline or character arcs here today, but TOXIE was an ordinary human named Melvin, I think, and quite a nerd. That's a bit of jargon that isn't very well thought of now, but back in the 80s, it was quite commonplace for someone to be called a nerd. Nerd, 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 nerd. For anything like liking to read, or being smart, or being able to use a computer, or knowing too much about Star Wars, or mechanics, or things like that. After an excruciating bout with a bunch of jocks and cool kids, poor TOXIE got to be this way after falling into a barrel of toxic waste, and was transformed into, as they say on the cartoon, a hideously deformed creature of unusual human size and unusual human strength. And now he defends Tromaville from environmental dangers and general baddies. Also, in the cartoon, there was an evil pollution aliens from planet, I think it was called Smogula, bent on polluting the earth. That was changed to make it more interesting for all the little kiddos out there. Yes, it's cheesy. Yes, it's campy. Yes, it was dad joke central, and that's okay, because that's all part of what makes these sort of things so watchable. Without the bad one-liners and cheesy cliches and all the other tropes, it would probably just be a bad, not just bad, but horrible, and not very funny at all for anyone at all. Now, speaking of cheesy, here's an ad from our sponsors. The folks at Chunion Burgers would like to invite you for a free burger every Thursday night. They have an amazing special sauce that's out of this world amazing. They have a dynamite blend of cheddar cheese and red onions with their own special recipe of herbs and spices, all melted and ooey gooey. That just melts all over that double juicy yall beef patty and just tastes so amazing. And that's just their original Chunion Burger. Man, that makes my mouth water just thinking about it. They also have a mozzarella blend and a Swiss blend and more, including an Impossible Burger and cheesy Chunion fries that come in quarter-pound trays. Man, that's a lot of food. So good. So go check them out. I'm sure that I'll be over there later. Now, from what I know the director, Lloyd Kaufman, was a man of a vision, and it was truly unique in his own right. I don't throw out TOXIE as a major disappointment or embarrassment quite yet. Even though it has many faults, there are others that are far worse off. They never quite made it past this pilot episode, probably. Although, due to respect for the craft, I won't go into a list here today. The only thing I can say about TOXIE is that it was derived from a classic run of B movies, and later turned its eyes to be aimed at a younger audience, and I am sure that it holds its own in a long run in the course of B movie history. There were a lot of bad ones at that. I think that's why they call them B, even though it's a B list. I still think it's because they're all bad. But like I said before, I do remember something about TOXIE and the gang from years back, but I can't really remember clearly if I ever saw a full episode or not. I probably did, because back in the 80s and the 90s, I was all over the Saturday morning cartoon scene. It was my jam, man. Now, truly, I must admit I got a lot of laughs out of the first episode of the cartoon series when I watched it the other day on YouTube. And I most likely might watch some more just to see what happens. As always, I'm sure I probably geeked out a bit on this video, and I'm sure that all my viewers are used to that by now. So thank you everyone for sticking it out until the end of this video. And please like, subscribe, and share with all your gorgeous friends. And I'll see you later.